how to, now I have pasted the patch file in our directory. So however, I have already patched it because my work is in VANET only. So I have already built this file into my source code. So but for you I will provide the instruction. Just press Ctrl Alt and T. Means the terminal will open, or you can open it by going to the menu. Open the terminal. Now go in the folder. Go in the NS 2.34 folder. Means NS all-in-one folder. Okay. So I have pasted it in downloads. Then I will go in. To change the if you want to go somewhere in your Ubuntu using terminal, you just have to provide the command cd, change directory, and provide the name of any folder where you want to go. Okay. So if you press enter, the downloads folder cd downloads, I have provided the command. So I am now in the download folder. Now I am providing the command cd ns all-in-one 2.34. If I press enter, now I am in that particular folder. Okay, everyone. So now if you want to patch it, apply the patch. Just simply write patch p1 less than symbol and the name of patch. Okay. So this is the simple command you have to provide for this patch. Many patches are, means most of the patches are applied using this command only. Means patch, if patch file is created, then this command will be used. But where the file should be put, that will be different. And some patches are like that, there is not a separate patch file for it. Okay, they may provide you a separate folder, and you have to change some of the some files related to that folder. Okay, so don't worry about that, it will be too much high for us for now. Okay, so when you press enter, so actually I have already applied this patch, so I will apply this patch. It is not accepting, no problem, because I have already applied it. But if you provide this command, anybody if try to provide this command only, after putting your file into NS all-in-one 2.34 folder, you will see a continuous lines will be written. Means around 10 to 12 lines will be written that this file is created like that, or applying patch, something like this. If anybody has applied, please tell me. Okay, so you all should have actually installed it, because it is quite important. However, no problem. You please ready by tomorrow with the NS2 installation. So what I have done, I have created one new folder with it does not have the patch file. Now I am going in it. Okay, don't worry what I have done now. So I am again going in it so that I can show you what we are doing. So what I said to you, apply command patch patch p1 less than symbol and provide this. Okay, how I typed it so quickly, actually I have not typed it. If you write anything, okay, suppose W is written, and if I press tab command or tab button, what will happen? It will search for a W files with the name W. Since there is only one file present, it will copy its name here. Okay, so that is why I did so quickly. So now if I press enter, you can see patching file, this, all the files are patched. So what does it mean? The patch is applied. Okay, now we can see here one more folder is created, DSRC, in the NS2 in basic NS 2.34 you won't be seeing this folder, but now it has created. Common folder was there already, but DSRC folder was not there, so it has created it. Okay, so like this it is there. So some files it has changed. Okay, forget about these changes, no problem. Means we just have to apply patch. So I want to make your work as simple as possible. So at the end I have already told you I will be leaving you with the source code, that is you can use directly. Means I will be telling you the places where you can exactly change for every particular protocol. Suppose for there are some types in MAC protocol, suppose multi-channel protocol where you can change. For scheduling based MAC protocol where you can change. Okay, like this it is there. I will tell you. However, I will tell you everything in brief, so that if you rewind these lectures, then you will be getting something revised. Okay, so okay, enough for patching. Yeah, one more thing I will have to tell you. My actual folder is this, but I have, for showing you, I have copied it in download. Okay, my actual installation folder is this one. So what we have to do, this patch is applied. After the patch is applied, if we run any VANET related TCL file, we cannot run it directly. What we have to do, any code you run in any language, before that you have to compile it always. So we have to build or compile that particular source code as well. So how to compile the source code? So my actual folder is this one. I have already compiled the source code, but no problem in that. You will be learning. Okay, so you can see here. In step 8, you have to provide one path, particular path. Okay, so here this is the path to the NS all-in-one 2.34 folder. So here you have to change this path. Okay, so only then it will work, otherwise it will not. Wherever you want to install, that particular path you have to provide. Okay, I think it is clear. So okay, so I was telling you how to compile the source code. If you want to compile the source code from beginning, means not from beginning means from, if you have changed something in your code, then some steps you have to follow. What those steps are, please pay attention. In source codes, there are some files. There are two major files. Means one is C++ files and another one is .h file. Header file and C++ file. So pay attention to it. Whenever you change only C++ files, means .cc files, any change you do in .cc file, what you can do? Just few steps, just 2 steps you have to do. Sudo make. Not in this folder actually. In this folder you have to provide sudo make. If you press enter and type your password, okay, it will build the code. Since I have not changed anything, so that is why the process completed without error and very soon. And the next step will be sudo make install. So these 2 steps you have to provide when you are changing .cc file. Okay. So whenever you are changing .cc file, these 2 steps you have to provide. What are those steps? Sudo make and sudo make install. But provide these steps only after going into this folder in NS all-in-one 2.34 and NS 2.34. Okay, inside it you will have to go and provide this command, sudo make and sudo make install. Okay. Now, if you have changed .h file as well along with cc file, or even if you have not changed the cc file, only .h file you have changed, then you have to do what? You have to provide 3 commands. What these commands are? Sudo make clean. This is the first command. The second command will be sudo make, and third command is sudo make install. Okay, these 3 commands you have to provide. But remember, when you clean all the object files, means all the object files, you should know whenever we compile something, it is converted into the object file. So whenever you provide command sudo make clean, all the object file in this folder will be removed. Okay, like here you can see this is already compiled, so some .o files are there. Okay, that is object file. So you cannot access these files because it is for the computer purpose. So when you press sudo make clean, what will happen? You can see all the object files are gone. Means it is not compiled now. So you have to do what? Sudo make. After sudo make clean, you have to provide sudo make. So now, since all the object files are removed, all the files will be compiled again. Okay. So this is the difference between these three commands and earlier 2 commands. Whenever you provide sudo make clean, all the object file will be compiled again. Means all the cc files and .h file will be compiled again. And oh, okay sir, no problem sir. I will repeat quickly. So after sudo make clean, I am providing sudo make. So all the files are being compiled. Again, that is why it is taking time. Earlier when I provided sudo make, it was very quick because it changes only, means it compiles only those particular files which are changed. Okay, so it may take some time depending upon your computer configuration. So, but not greater than 5 minutes it will take. Okay, since there are no object file here, so the files of this folder has not been compiled yet. So when these will be compiled, object file will appear. Okay, now you can see some object files are appeared, means these are compiled now. Okay, so the clean command I gave for the learning purpose only. Okay, so whenever you change any .h file, then you have to provide sudo make clean. However, sometimes it works if you provide only sudo make and sudo make install, but you will, if there will be some error problem, means due to that you won't be knowing means what the problem was. Means your simulation will run, but it may give the wrong results. So what you have to do, at the frequent intervals, if at some point of time you think that I have written the correct code and no error is there, but my simulation is not working properly, means the results I am getting are wrong according to me, then what you can do, you can provide the clean command, sudo make clean, then sudo make, then sudo make install. Now I have provided sudo make clean and sudo make. Sudo make install now I will provide and press enter. Okay, so now I will be able to use the DSRC patch. Okay, since it has been compiled without error. Sometimes some error occurs while applying the patch. So in that case we have to solve those errors first, then only we can compile it again. Okay, so what we have learned till now about building the code again. Whenever, suppose in this folder we were there, whenever we change the .cc file only, we have to provide two commands after going in the NS 2.34 folder. What those two commands are? Sudo make and sudo make install. Okay, this is sudo make and sudo make install. Now, if we change .h file, we have to provide three commands. First one is sudo make clean, then sudo make install. Okay. Now, the third situation is you won't have to use that situation frequently. Means use this condition won't come to you frequently. Only when you are applying any patch. Okay, yeah. So whenever we apply any patch that has not a patch file created for it, means we have to copy some folder from somewhere else. So in that case, what we have to do? We have to change this make file. Okay, this make file .in you have to change. What this make file .in is? It contains all the file names and their path where these are available. Means suppose we have seen about the packet.h file, so we can search packet.h. So not .h actually, .o will be there. So here packet.o file is in common folder. Okay. So now similarly dsrc.o file is in dsrc folder. This dsrc is what? Dedicated short range communication. This folder generated when we applied the patch. And when we applied the patch, this file also changed. Earlier these four lines were not there, but now these are there. So the make file .in is also changed in that patch. Okay. So what you can do now, if you have made some changes in the make file, okay, try to understand it. If you have made some changes in the make file, then you have to provide four commands actually. Sudo, I won't provide it, otherwise it will take some time again. Sudo /configure. This is the first command you have to provide. After that, sudo make clean. After that, sudo make, and then sudo make install. These four commands you have to provide. Okay, so what we understood about building the source code? If we are changing only .h file of source code, any .h file in the source code, then we have to provide sudo make and sudo make install. If we are changing .cc file, if we are changing .cc file only in the source code, we have to provide two commands. First one is sudo make, another one is sudo make install. If we are changing .h file, we have to provide three commands: sudo make clean, sudo make and sudo make install. If we are changing make file .in, however, generally you won't have to do that. Then you will have to do what? Provide four commands: sudo /configure, sudo make clean, sudo make and sudo make install. Okay. So these four commands you have to provide. So since you have applied the patch first time, many of you have applied the patch first time, you should write first sudo /configure. Okay. These four commands actually you will have to provide, not starting from sudo make. Okay, you try it again, then it will work. So some is starting portion is over. Now open this file, vanet.tcl file. So whenever a patch is created, if somebody provides only the source codes, then nobody will be able to design a TCL file for it. Means somebody may design, but it will take a lot of efforts. So what we can do, actually, means what whoever has actually developed that particular patch should provide the VANET file as well. Okay, sorry, not VANET, the TCL file as well. So the TCL file, this TCL file which you are seeing is provided by the manufacturer of this patch, means or the developer of this patch only. Okay, I have modified this file according to means so that you can understand it easily, otherwise it was a little bit difficult. Okay, this is a very basic file. As I told you, some of the things in NH2 you have to just assume their work or escape those things. However, in TCL file most of the things are clear, so you don't have to escape many things in it. Okay, so let us see this file. Please pay attention, the main part has started. Some of you might not be knowing the TCL file, means any of the TCL file. This TCL file is particularly for vehicular network. However, some of you might not be knowing even the simple wired file or wireless file. So no problem in that. Forget those things. You can, I will be telling you from scratch. Okay. For VANET simulation, you don't have to learn about anything regarding TCL file other than what I will tell you. Okay. So first thing is this file. In this file is set argv bracket 0, some values are written in bracket close. Now what it is here, argv, it is just a command actually to initialize an array. Set argv, argv is not a command, it is the name of variable. So whenever we initialize a variable using these brackets, these curly braces, what is there? It creates an array. So this is an array named argv. That array has 5 values. Okay, 0, 40, 250, 300 and 2. So this is at 0th place, 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place and 4th place. Okay. Now the array we have initialized. Now what we will do, some variables we will initialize. Okay, at the beginning something when we write any program in any language, at the beginning some variables we always initialize. Okay, those variables are used later in that program. Similarly here also we are initializing some variables. Okay, up to here we will initialize some variables, and those variables, and these variables we will use later in our program. Okay. So what it is, set argv 0, 40, 250, 300 and 2. This is an array which has these 5 elements. Now value of mod index. This is also a variable. You can change this variable name as you want. This variable name can be changed as well. So this variable will contain the value what? This value. What it is? L index argv 0. L index is what? Nothing, it is just a command. What this command will do? argv is an array and 0th place. The 0th place of argv array is copied into this variable. Okay. So argv index, argv variable 0th index, whatever value is there will be copied into this. So what the value is at the 0th place? It is 0 only. So it is copied here. Now the second thing is value of n cars, the number of cars or the number of nodes, you can say. How many number of nodes will be there? It is defined using this value. L index ARGB1. What is this one? 1 is the place in the ARGB array. What it is? 40. Okay, 2 is the place in ARGB array. What it is? 250. 3 is the place, that is 300. 4 is the place, that is 2. Now, value of mod index is at 0th place we have copied, means whatever value is there. Number of cards at the first place, whatever value is there, we have copied. Payload we have copied, whatever is there at 2. Communication range we have copied, whatever value is there at 3. And value of seed, this value we have copied, whatever is there at 4. So I told you at the beginning, the variable names, from the variable names only you can understand many things. Okay, mod index means modulation index. What that mod index is, however, you might not be knowing exactly, but you will be knowing something related to modulation. Now, what do you mean by it? Here some comments are provided. If mod index value is 0, we will use the BPSK modulation and 1/2 coding rate, and the data rate will be 3 Mbps. If we are using 1, we will be using the QPSK modulation scheme, QPSK modulation, and data rate will be 6 Mbps. If we are using 2, we are using these variables, means to complete quadrature amplitude modulation, 16 symbols, 1/2 coding rate of 12 Mbps will be the data rate. And QAM64, if the mod index is 3, 2/3 coding rate and 24 Mbps is the data rate. Okay, so these things we will use. Now, here the value is 0. So, currently we are using BPSK modulation scheme with 1/2 coding rate, and data rate we are using is 3 Mbps. Okay. 40 is the number of cars. The number of cars will be varied according to this. So currently it is 40. So the number of vehicles in the simulation is 40 currently. 250 means payload. What is the size of the message? That is payload. So it is 250 now. 250 in bytes. 300 is what? Communication range. Communication range is 300 means we can transmit up to 300 meter, and the value depends upon this number. Okay. Now this is actually not used. This is the seed value. Seed value is used in most of the simulation to define a particular setting, but the use of this, the author has not defined, or the developer has not defined. So there is no use of it. I have tried to change this variable, these values from 2 to anything, but it doesn't show any effect. So only 4 values are used. So what we have learned till now from these 6 lines, if we want to select data rate 24 Mbps, we will simply write it as 3. If we are changing here as, if we want to keep the node numbers, means total number of nodes 100, we change it. If we want to change the size of the packet, we just have to change it. Suppose 150 bytes. If we want to change the communication range, just change it. Just for those 500 meters. Okay. So what we have learned? How to define the data rate and the number of vehicles or number of nodes, the payload or the data message size or the communication range. These 4 things we have learned. Now, okay, I think everything is clear by up to here. Now few more things. Set payload, value of payload. These things are just copied again, so these to use. Suppose we are copying one variable B into variable A. This is the same process. There is no exact need for it. Payload we are defining as the value of payload only. Modulation index we are defining as the value of modulation index. So we are just copying this value into this variable. Okay, and this value into this variable. So nothing change in it. We can just remove these two lines and use these variables only throughout our code. Now, pay attention to one thing. Whenever we define a variable in TCL, suppose ARGB we are defining, we just write any name ARGB. And when we are using this variable, we have to provide a dollar sign. Okay, dollar defines the value of this particular variable. So dollar sign, whenever you use any variable, you have to use this dollar sign. So this is a variable, so when we are using it here, so we have to provide dollar sign. Here we are using value of payload, so we have to use dollar sign here. So this is, you will see throughout the TCL file. Okay, up to here I think everything is clear. Now